Okay, so today's topic is Raptor, and we're going to describe to you what is Raptor, and then we're going to focus on specifically the value of plug and play. So that's going to be our theme today. What is Raptor? So Raptor is, as you can see on my slide here, is digital or innovation in digital importing of transcripts. So this is a product for education for colleges and universities and you can import transcripts into your student information system. Why is Raptor different? So we're going to be focusing a lot today on the difference between what we call legacy OCR methodologies as opposed to the new cloud-based methods that Raptor uses, and why there's tremendous value of this plug and play capability. And want to encourage you to check that out. What makes Raptor different? There's a couple primary factors. One is that it's cloud-based, and we'll talk about the importance of that and why that brings tremendous value to you. And also, Raptor has algorithms that are tuned specifically for transcripts. So again, Raptor is targeted at the importing of transcripts that are being received by primarily, community colleges, and universities. You're receiving transcripts by PDF or an image form or hard copy, and because Raptor is tuned, the logic of Raptor is tuned specifically for reading transcripts. We can bring you tremendous value right out of the box. So we're going to be talking about the value of that plug and play aspect of Raptor. For those of you who have not seen Raptor before, we're going to do a quick demo. So just real quick to give you a visual of what is Raptor. This is the Raptor user interface here. And as you can see, it's designed very specifically for transcripts. So you have a transcript on the left-hand side of the page, and then you have the data that's been the course data, term and year and subject and title that's been read off of that transcript. I'm going to just show you this with a quick demonstration. I'm going to launch my student information system. I see a question in the chat there. What student information systems will Raptor work with? So we're going to be talking about that. Raptor is, we call it SIS agnostic. It can work with any student system. So I'm going to be working in PeopleSoft here for the demonstration, but we'll be talking about all the ways that you can use Raptor. Going to my So we need to have a student that we can work with. Here's one. Here's a student, Peter Wilson, right? I'm in my demonstration environment here. And Peter has sent us a transcript from the University of Colorado Boulder. And so we're just going to demonstrate how we can pull that transcript into our system. I'm going to click this launch icon here. We're opening Raptor. And now we're just going to go ahead and pick a transcript. I'm going to go ahead and get my demo transcript here. We're going to process that. And there's the coursework that Raptor read off. And I'm just going to go ahead and push this back into my PeopleSoft. And there's the data. That's 15 courses that were loaded with grades and terms that were loaded into my PeopleSoft. So that round trip right there, starting in your SIS, reading the data from the transcript automatically, and then pushing it back, that round trip is really what Raptor is all about. There's other ways you can use Raptor, which we'll be talking about, but I just want to give you that quick demo so you can get the concept of what is Raptor all about. There's a lot more details and features and functionality inside Raptor. We don't have time to do a deep dive on that, but let's talk about how you can learn more and see more fully functional the features of Raptor. Let's go back here to our presentation here. So we completed that really quick little demo. So yeah, why is it in the interest of a college and university to community college to be running Raptor? Financial return on investment. We're going to, as I said, our theme today is the value, unlocking the value of plug and play. So the value is financial value. When you can save money with these techniques, when you can save manual processing time, we're going to be talking about the value of that. Let's look at go back to our website here. So one of the things I want to leave you with after this meeting is our website, smartpandatools.com. There's a lot of information here about Raptor and about several other tools we provide for the education market. And we want to highlight for you the financial return on investment. So one of the things that we encourage you to check out here is our transcript cost map. And I'll just go ahead and click on that now. We can tell you how we got these numbers. We did a lot of research and calculations on, but this is the annual national cost of hand entering transcripts right now. There's a lot of manual entry of transcripts being done, and we estimate, minimum estimate, $34 million a year around the nation is being spent just paying people to sit there and manually enter transcripts. So it's a staggering cost. The cost argument, makes itself. I'm going to go back here to speed, but this is more than about money, right? When you're processing student data, it's about serving a student. So, we've talked to schools and colleges that have months of backlogs of transcripts that they just cannot. They're just flooded with transcripts all the time through the admissions process, through the transfer credit process, and they just can't get them in fast enough manually typing. And so, students don't get the information they need. Advisors don't get the information they need. It's not quality or personalized service to students. And so I'm going to also jump back now to our website here to another. If you click on the transfer credit link here, we actually have a self-assessment that is, we won't go through it now, but I encourage you to check this out. And it's interactive, so you can give your honest responses here, right? When an applicant sends you a transcript, how quickly do you record that transcript and acknowledge it? And when I say record the transcript, I'm talking about the full details of what's on that transcript. And so, we talk about the impacts when you are sluggish and backlogged in processing transcripts and getting them in your system. It's hurting every aspect of your student journey, right? The recruiting you're losing prospects, you're losing applicants, and especially when you get into the enrollment and onboarding process, right? Your entire campus is impacted by their ability to serve a student if they don't have that transcript information. So let me go back to, let's go on to who runs Raptor. So who's running this now? So we talked about our company, Smart Panda Tools. I want to introduce you to, go back to our homepage here. A couple of things I want to introduce you to. One is down at the bottom, a list of our customers. So you can see the kinds of schools that we've had the privilege of working with on Raptor. Ensign College and other schools in Utah. We have University of Puget Sound in Washington State, Peralta Community College District, University of Miami, University of Houston, Florida A&M, University of Florida. We're bringing on San Diego Community Colleges. We're bringing on Indiana University, and we have a expanding roster of major institutions that have been using Raptor for a couple of years now. And Raptor every day is being used in production systems to process thousands of transcripts. So it's robust. Let's go back to, and as I mentioned, sysagnostic. So let's talk about, I showed you with my demonstration, I showed you the PeopleSoft integration, but we're very happy to say we do also run with Ellucian Banner student system. So we have a delivered integration where the thing I just showed you, where Raptor will extract the data and we can push that into Banner using a delivered import. I want to refer you back to, if you go to our website and you click on our videos link here, we have a ton of videos. Thank you for joining today. And we'll also be putting this out on YouTube, but this will take you to a YouTube channel where you can see all of our Raptor videos here. And the Raptor, I'm going here now because in August, a couple of months ago, we did a session, Raptor Times, focused specifically on the Banner import process. So if you're a Banner school, I encourage you to watch this detailed presentation about the Banner connectivity itself. Now, there's a question here about, okay, I see a question in the chat about the time and effort to implement Raptor. And so we're going to be focusing, because we're using that word plug and play, we're going to be focusing today. I'm going to answer that in a second regarding the time and effort and how can you implement Raptor at your school. So these terms, right, are the different ways that you can run Raptor. So I showed you a minute ago what we call a human-assisted way of running Raptor, where a person is literally processing one transcript at a time. That's what we call this integration to PeopleSoft here, using the PeopleSoft integration broker, which we deliver to you. But as I mentioned, we also have an XML integration with Banner. Now we have a couple of batch processing also. So we know that if you're a large institution and you're getting hundreds of transcripts a day, you might want to have Raptor reading through those in an automated fashion, in what we call a batch processing or scheduled processing. And so we do have that option here, batch processing, and we integrate with the Parchment transcript network. So we can really fully automate. We have a couple of really exciting projects going right now where we're automating, folders of transcripts and reading them overnight or on a scheduled basis. And then we have an API so that you can even build custom apps, chatbots, or web pages where you can plug in Raptor using this API, and we deliver all this code to you. Let's keep going so our theme for today is, there's a question there, how does the API work? We might do a future session specifically focused on the API. It's really just an API is really just a web internet capability where we'll provide you with a URL with a web address and credentials to authenticate to that. And with that web address, you can literally send a transcript to that web address with your user password and all that. And it's going to return back to you. It's going to read that transcript and return back to you the data that it reads off of it. So you send that PDF to that web address and you get back the data. So that's how that API works. And again, let me leave you with our contact information here. Come to our website and click on Contact Us, or you can also contact us through LinkedIn. And so click on Contact Us, and we will, there's also an email address and phone you can contact us here. We'd love to meet and show you more extensively. Let's talk about our theme though, for the value of plug and play. We want to be the company of yes, right? So that's right. Every company is going to say that. We want to work with you and be flexible, and we don't want to have any obstacles that we can possibly alleviate. But when it comes to kind of using this in a almost trying to make a pun here. Although we want to be the company of yes, today we're focusing on what we're calling the 5 no's of Raptor. So this is our theme. We're going to talk about how Raptor is dramatically different and better from legacy OCR. What is OCR? It's optical character recognition. So this technique has been out there for decades, but Raptor is very different. We're talking about how it's a dramatically easier plug and play. No complex installation. So we're going through the no's of Raptor, right? No complex installation. So what we call legacy OCR is going to be a fairly complex and extensive just to get that tool running on your system, right? So it's on-premise. Legacy OCR is typically an on-premise installation of vendor code you're going to need a dedicated server or technical infrastructure on your network to run this, to install this code. And you're going to need dedicated staff, IT staff, to support this application that's going to be running on your right now in your technical ecosystem. On the other hand, Raptor, in contrast to that, it's why it's a plug and play tool, is because we send you all the code to install in your system. You don't into your PeopleSoft or your other SIS. You don't have to install our tools because Raptor runs in the cloud. And so because Raptor runs in the cloud, we maintain it, we keep it running, we apply the patches to it, and the only thing you have to do is allow it to integrate to your student system. So that's a dramatic difference in the time and effort just Raptor can be installed and running literally within a day or two, because all you have to do is allow that connectivity to happen. What's the second no of Raptor? The second no is no lengthy mapping and configuration. So when I showed you this transcript here in Raptor, let's show you another one. I'll show you the one I started with, which is a more complex looking transcript. So this is much more like what you're going to see on a daily basis. And when I process this, okay, you're seeing that Raptor read 34, 35 courses off this transcript. I didn't have to teach this to Raptor. I didn't have to train Raptor to do that. If I'm the customer, it's plug and play because Raptor is already tuned to read transcripts. There's some transcripts that are very unusual and non-typical, and we deliver to you, to any customer, these templates right out of the box that we're always adding to this list. So, you know, schools like UCLA or Rutgers, right? You get transcripts from them. Raptor is already ready to read those transcripts day one, right? So that's a really important distinction we're making. Raptor there's no mapping you have to do, thousands of transcripts out of, day one, and they're shared. Again, because Raptor's in the cloud, the templates are shared. So every time we create a new template, we see a new transcript that might be unusual and require, so most transcripts don't require us to do anything. The Raptor delivered logic just reads it. But when we see any unusual ones, we do that, provide that to you, and it's immediately available to everyone. As opposed to legacy OCR systems where you have custom scripts if you get an unusual document or unusual transcript or a new transcript you need it to read in the legacy system, you need to map field by field. Oftentimes you need to write expensive, scripts, or the vendor will have write expensive scripts. And so there's time and effort just on that mapping and configuration. Let's go to the third no of No number 3 is no extensive training and technical skills. So again, because Raptor is on the cloud, it's intuitive to use. You're the staff who are going to be in your admissions offices and your registrar's office who are going to be using Raptor. They don't need to go through, weeks of training. They don't have to learn specialized skills. Raptor is intuitive to use, as you can see. Upload, it's really, 3 steps: upload, process that file, and then you're just doing quality assurance, some editing that might need to be done, and pushing this back to your system. So it's really the time and effort just to train and start using it significantly lower than legacy OCR. Legacy OCR, you had to have technical or functional staff specifically trained in the vendor techniques, proprietary scripting languages, and methods of managing documents. So it's significant just training and skill level difference to use the tools. All this, again, why there's significant value to plug and play as an option. So let's go to the fourth no of Raptor is no sticker shock. So again, because of this dramatically different approach that Raptor uses, the cost is also significantly lower. Raptor is roughly 10% of the cost of legacy OCR systems. OCR is very underutilized because, and there's a question in the chat, why can Raptor be so much less cost? And it's because of the technology, that it's in the cloud. The maintenance footprint for us is significantly lower. So on legacy OCR systems, it's underutilized because you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars to implement and maintain these systems. Raptor is a much lighter footprint and much less expensive. So we're getting now to the fifth no of Raptor: no delays. That's the last no of Raptor. And no delays because of everything we just talked about, right? Raptor, you can install and be running Raptor in a matter of a couple of weeks by the time you move it, to your production system, get your staff comfortable with it. Day one to go live can be, a couple of weeks. And whereas with legacy OCR systems, you're talking about, I've heard stories of 6 months or a year of installing it, training it, scripting it with a much higher price tag. So all of that, the value of, to go back to our theme, the value of plug and play is a multiple of these factors, right? If we have an equation, a mathematical equation for the value of plug and play, it's time, cost, the actual price of the product, and functionality. So when you take those 3 factors, right, and you can think about this for any software, right? Anything you want to do in your at your school, you're going to have the time to do that, right? Think about the difference between doing something that's going to take you 6 months or a year, as opposed to doing something that's going to take a couple of weeks. The cost, as I said, Raptor, maybe 10% of that of legacy OCR. So the time, the cost, the functionality, right? Day one, Raptor's giving you thousands of transcripts that you can read. Legacy OCR, it will take you a long time to build up that many capabilities, right? So you can see when you take these factors, the value of plug and play is a tremendous multiple of legacy OCR. So that's really our theme for today. Oh yeah, question in the chat about can Raptor work with Workday? Yeah, if you're a Workday school, let's talk. Let's implement Raptor. I think Workday ought to be one of the easier systems to talk with because it's going to be very API friendly. So definitely get in touch. How can you get in touch with us? Again, smartpandatools.com and click on Contact Us. I'm going to post this video in our YouTube channel. As I was showing you, I'll post the video here and also on LinkedIn. And we look forward to more discussions with you and looking forward to having a chance to work with you. We'll give a second here if there's any more questions. Oh, okay. I have a question there about you have the licensing of Raptor in terms of the size of the school. And right, that's a really great question. Raptor is priced on a unlimited use basis. So there's an annual, being a cloud software as a service, being a cloud service, it's got an annual subscription, but your subscription for your school is an unlimited subscription. So we're going to give you a flat fee, right, every year, just an annual flat fee, and that's going to allow unlimited number of staff using it, unlimited numbers of transcripts. So that's how we want to make this really easy for you to. The other reason that there's no delays or not significant delays with Raptor is because the procurement is that much easier. We're not talking about large amounts of money. So getting approval, budgetary approval for schools to do this is oftentimes a lot easier than some, several $100,000 license. Okay, thanks for everybody for joining. See you next time on Raptor Time.